Well, Steve, here we are on the cusp of the 2025 Northwest Conference Swimming Championships happening this week over in Federal Way. Swimming, unlike most of our sports, all the eggs are in one basket. Championship rides on one weekend, and it's coming up. But before we talk about that, let's go back a little bit and talk about the meet at Whitman a couple Saturdays ago.
Sure.
Always a fun time, Battle of the Wits. What did you see happen this past meet?
It was a great meet, and we knew it would be. Whitman's always a really good team, so they definitely pushed us, and we had a great meet. It was a challenging week. We had a bunch of kids that were coming off of flu and being sick and all of that, and and we were beginning our taper. We were starting to rest for a championship meet when we hit Whitman. And so it was what we expected. I mean, we had some kids that were already responding to rest and doing really well, and then we had other kids who were coming off of being sickness and had a couple days of rest, but not enough to really sort of help, and they were a little bit slower. So it was kind of a up-down meet for us. Some were really good, some were a little bit off, but it was kind of to be expected.
So you were able to finish the dual meet season undefeated, men's team and women's team, first time in over a decade for both teams to accomplish that. What does that say about the quality of these two teams?
I'm very excited about both our men and women's team. They've worked really, really hard. They've been very consistent. They've supported each other really well. This is a team that is very united and likes each other, and you see that in their swimming. They really swim for each other and not just for themselves. And we've been blessed, and we've had an amazing, amazing season. They've done really well.
The championship meet format is a little bit different, a lot different than the dual meet format. Talk about how strategy and how you approach a lineup and event entries for a championship meet is going to be different than how you for a dual meet.
Yeah, in a championship format, depth matters. We score 1 through 16 in a championship. Where in a dual meet, it's just your top 3 scores for every event, and so depth becomes much more important. And because there's so many events, you're talking 18 different events. It becomes a little bit of a chess match, right? Trying to figure out what team is going to put what competitors where, and trying to make sure that we line up in the best way possible. So I feel pretty good about that. We have good depth on both teams. We don't have a lot of holes, and some events were better than others. I think we have a good chance to do really well at both of these meets. So we're hoping that we'll come away with team championships on both sides.
If you had to handicap it, and I know you've seen the psych sheet, you like our chances, but who are some of the main competitors that we're going to have to overcome to be able to pull this off?
Sure. On the women's side, UPS and Whitman are both very good teams, and they match up well with us. So I see that being a really exciting matchup. On the men's side, University of Puget Sound's a very strong team, so I think it's going to be back and forth with us and them. Linfield's always good. Lewis and Clark is much improved. They've got some really good sprint freestylers. Willamette has way more depth than they've had in the past. So across the conference, there's going to be a lot of really good racing.